Episode 13. The altar was always there. Part 4. Overview. The surrender. We have walked a long road to get here. We started in the cold, in the silence of halls where voices were supposed to be, in the ache of arms that only knew emptiness, while everyone around us seemed full. We brought our accusation to God, raw, unfiltered, the real version that faith usually keeps behind closed doors. We felt the crack form in the anger. We prayed the dangerous prayer and let God search us. We went into the dark and discovered that the hunger and the desire could come apart, that the wanting of the wrong thing could loosen while the hunger itself remained. We consented to the stripping. We watched the lies surface and the shame come into the light. We said, if this is grace, let it stay from inside the fire, meaning it more than we expected to. And then we arrived at the sovereignty, at the recognition that the hand deciding what hearts receive is a Father's hand, that the thread He weaves is purposeful, that the worth in what He keeps from us is about seeing Him more clearly, that the whole story was never primarily about us. God is the main character, even in ours. All of that has been building toward one place, the altar. But I need to tell you what the altar actually is, because I think we have a picture of it in our minds that is wrong. And if we bring the wrong picture to part 4, we will misread everything that happens in it. The altar in this song is not a place of release. It is not where you bring the want so you can finally put it down and walk away lighter. It is not a receptacle for the things you are giving up, the desires, the ambitions, the longings that have been too heavy to carry and too painful to keep. It is not about letting go. It is a forge. The altar stone is an anvil. The fire is a smith's fire. And the surrender of part 4 is the surrender of submitting your want, the raw, real, deep, human want that has driven everything from the cold hearth to the accusation to the stripping, to God's hammer. Not to be destroyed, to be transformed, violently, forcefully, with the full strength of a craftsman who knows exactly what he is making, hammered into something new, something better, something that could not have been made any other way. This is what surrender means in part 4. Not the deflated acceptance of someone who has finally run out of fight. Not the passive emptying of desire. Not the arrival at a spiritual neutrality where nothing moves you strongly anymore because you have learned not to want things too much. That is not surrender. That is defeat dressed in religious language. Surrender here is active, deliberate, costly, and aimed at transformation, not removal. Lay down my want on altar stone. You do not accidentally lay something on an anvil. You carry it there. You make the walk. You place it deliberately, with full awareness of what you are doing and what is about to happen to it, on the stone built for exactly this. You are not abandoning the want. You are submitting it. There is a difference. Abandonment walks away. Submission stays and watches and endures the process because it trusts the craftsman. Let fire take what I called my own. The fire takes what was false about the want, what was self-centered in it, what was rooted in comparison and pride and the measuring of yourself against others. What was about proving something, justifying something, earning something. The fire burns the dross. Not the want itself, but the corruption that had grown around it. Because the want underneath, the deep, original, God-placed hunger for love, for belonging, for purpose, for a life that means something, that is not destroyed. That is what remains when the fire has done its work, purified, freed from what was clinging to it. This is what we walked toward in the earlier parts of this series, the ripping out of envy's root, the stripping of the lies and pride and false assumptions. All of that was preparation for this. You cannot bring a want to the forge until the root has been addressed. You cannot lay something on the altar stone while your fist is still closed around it. The work of parts 1 through 3 has been, in part, the slow opening of the hand, the loosening of the grip, the arriving at a place where the thing can actually be placed on the stone. And now it can be. Break off the yoke I forged from need. This line names something I want to stay with for a moment. The yoke was not placed on us from outside. We forged it. From need. From the long, accumulated weight of want that had nowhere good to land, that turned to comparison and striving and the building of an identity around lack. We made the thing that bound us, not out of wickedness, but out of pain, out of the very human response to hunger that has no clean answer. And the yoke became structural, part of how we moved through the world, part of how we understood ourselves, part of what drove us. The forge breaks it off, not gently, with hammer and fire, because a forged thing requires a forge to undo it. Pre-chorus 3 names the prayer underneath all of this with a precision I am still learning to fully mean. If I am yours, then make me true. Burn what's false and bring me through. Not my will, but what you see. Shape the fire that's shaping me. That last line is everything. Shape the fire that's shaping me. Not stop the fire. Not make the fire smaller or more manageable or less painful. Shape it. Direct it. Use it with the intentionality of a craftsman who knows what temperature is needed and where the hammer needs to fall and what the finished thing is supposed to look like. The person praying this has stopped asking God to change the circumstances and started asking God to control the process, to be the smith, to bring the hammer, to let the fire do exactly what it needs to do. That is surrender. Full, costly, active, trust-built surrender. Not to loss, but to transformation. The altar was always there. The whole journey has been the walk toward it. And the want you are carrying, the one that has been with you since the cold hearth, since the little league field, since the first time you watched someone else have what you couldn't understand why you didn't. That want is not being taken from you. It is being made into something. Bring it to the stone. Let the fire come. Trust the hammer. The craftsman knows what he is making.